Hi, I'm Lucy, mum to identical twin boys, and today I'm going to talk you through how I budget my maternity pay here in the UK. If you don't know, in the UK, the government pays you 90% of your average weekly earnings for the first 6 weeks of your maternity leave. After that, it then drops to around £187 a week for the next 33 weeks. This adds up to around 9 months of maternity pay. So if, like me, you're wanting to take a year off, there will be 3 months where you have no pay at all. If, like me, the company that you work for doesn't offer any additional pay, some companies will pay you 6 months full pay, for example, which is fantastic. Mine is just statutory. So thankfully, I looked into this a little bit before I was pregnant, and I was able to kind of budget and to save up to get me through maternity leave. I am taking the full 12 months off, and I'm going to talk you through how I've done that. The first thing that I did was write down all of my outgoings, and I got rid of anything that I didn't think was essential, so like app subscriptions or any random things that you're paying for that you just don't need, and take it down to the bare minimum of what you actually do need. I then put in what I'd like to live off for spending money and things, enough for me to go out for coffee with a friend, go to a baby class, things like that, but not, a huge amount, not the amount that I was used to having. And I took out any savings, so I'm currently not saving for holidays or long-term savings and investments, nothing like that, so stripped it all back. And what was that ideal figure that I would like to have monthly whilst I was off? For me, that was £1,500 a month, and I felt like I could live comfortably off that. I wasn't saving any extra, but it was a nice figure to work with. So I then calculated what the monthly maternity pay would be from the government, and it is around £700 to £800 a month once you've dropped off after that first 6 weeks. So I then knew how much I would have to pay myself. So I plotted out all of my months, what I'd be paid from the government, what my ideal was, which was £1,500 a month, take what I was paid by the government, and that then gave me what I needed to save. So I added up all the monthly figures, and it gave me a savings pot, a goal to aim for. And I also forgot to mention I did take into account the child benefit that you get paid as well. So overall for me, it was around £5,600 that I needed to save to pay myself throughout the course of a year. In the end, I did end up going on maternity leave early because the boys were premature, and we thought they were going to be really premature. So I ended up finishing work super early, and thankfully I've managed to make it work by using keep in touch days towards the end of my maternity leave. So if you're not aware, your keep in touch days you do get paid for, and I believe you get 10 keep in touch days. So over the last couple of months of my maternity, I'm going to do 1 day a week, and that will give me some pay as well when the government isn't paying me anything, and it means I have to draw out less from my savings. Thankfully I did manage to save a little bit more than what I'd planned because it took us a bit longer trying to conceive, and I'm using the kit days. So I've just been paid for May, and I'm going to talk you through exactly how I budget my month. So I've zoomed in on my screen here, hopefully you can see everything okay. We're looking at May, and at the top here I have the income needed figure, which we calculated to be £1,500 a month. The salary I was paid this month is £788, so your monthly salary will still come from work, by the way. It's worth mentioning it doesn't actually come from the government. Your work will claim it back from the government. So it's £788 this month from work, and then child benefit is always the same, it's £170 a month. I get paid child benefit for 2 babies because of having twins. It is a little bit less if you have one. And then I have a formula in here to calculate the savings drawdown that I would need. So I would need £542 withdrawn from my savings account to top me up to the £1,500 that we're after. I don't have any kit days planned this month, so it's zero from kit days, and that is all of my income for May. Going down to the living costs now, my expenses. I have always paid £1,075 into our joint account. It's pretty much 50-50 with my husband, so I'm still paying that now. If, for example, I hadn't had chance to save all of the money I needed for maternity pay, that's where I would have maybe cut costs. My husband would have paid more into the joint account, but thankfully I can still pay 50-50 at the moment. My phone bill is just £20 a month, and then I have these iPhone storage things that I just end up paying for because I don't know how to move my photos around and I don't want to delete anything, so I just pay the storage costs. They're not very much. I don't owe my buckets anything this month, so you'll see in the next section I used buckets in Monzo app to budget my month, my short-term, long-term savings, and sometimes I'll end up pulling out of money from buckets. You can see I did it in this month here. I took £74 out from somewhere, so I paid that back into my buckets, but I've got none of that to worry about this month. Social and gifts tends to be like my general spending, like birthdays and things and days out, so that's £130. And then toiletries and clothes, for if I've run out of things, I budget £50. Petrol, I put in £100, but to be honest, I end up spending that on other things and my husband just pays the petrol, but I always try and have the best intentions that I will contribute towards the petrol costs. Christmas, I just put £30 a month. That's nice and easy, you don't really notice it, and then at the end of the year you do have a little bucket, which is nice to help with Christmas costs. My hair is excruciatingly expensive. I put £50 a month away for my hair. I pay £200 every 4 months to have my hair done. It's crazy, but I love my hairdresser and I didn't want to leave her, so that is a luxury that I'm keeping for now. And my eyebrows cost me £13 a month. That's nice and cheap. My friend does them for me. She's a beautician. And then unfortunately I'm not saving anything for holidays at the moment, not saving towards car costs, and I'm not putting anything in the bucket for the babies at the moment. That currently, if we need things, supplies for the babies, clothes and things, my husband's covering those costs if I can't cover them in my general spending. And then the Natural Cycles app is just the one app that I've kept because that is quite good for tracking cycles. I'm so used to using it that I don't really want to let it go. And then you can see here my long-term savings. I haven't put anything in this since I've been on maternity leave, and again I won't put anything into that now. So they are places that I used to save in and I will save in when I'm back to work, but for now I've just stripped it back to basics. And then at the bottom here, it tells me what I need to transfer to Monzo. So it's just a formula. So once I've been paid and I've moved all of my money, I know I need to move $382.99 over to Monzo, and I can then pop all of the right money into the right buckets, if that makes sense. So I really hope that that was helpful for you to see. I love looking at how other people manage their finances, and I am in the very fortunate position that I was able to save up before I went on maternity leave, and my husband does cover a lot of costs if we're going out and about as a family, so I have managed to keep everything quite low. I hope it gives you some ideas if you're looking to go on maternity leave soon. If you have any questions, please pop them in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!